Okay, I bought this guitar. It is a Strat clone. Um, Bought it from a pawn shop with an amp for $120. The amp's pretty decent, so um, and this guitar seems it's okay, for me for a beginner. Um, they actually branded their pickups, and it's got the tremolo system on there, obviously, since it's a Strat copy. Um, but I'm having a lot of trouble getting the intonation right. So I've gone through and I leveled the frets with the help of YouTube, obviously. I'm pretty handy with tools and stuff, so I the frets were really high up here, and I tried tapping them back down, and they were still high, so I had to grind them down with I had a large, probably a 10-inch long, brand new, like knife sharpening stone with two grits, and I used the finer grit, and it flattened these out pretty wide. So then I didn't have um, one of those special files, so I saw a guy. He did it with a triangular file, shaped the. Let me see if I can get those in. Because they had big flat spots on them, and they're just not coming in. But when you put marker on them, they look really good. A lot better than they did after I ground them down. That's for sure. So I'm pretty happy with that. The edges are all good. It wasn't bad for a cheap guitar. It was pretty nice. I'm a total beginner too. Before coronavirus, I couldn't even play a chord. So um, so I could hear when I tune, I could hear the strings. What's going on? I could hear the strings kind of crunching through these string trees. So I took them off and used fine sandpaper underneath and sanded those. The nut, I'm waiting for a new nut. This nut is the spacing is off, and I kind of have fat fingers, so I need the spacing right. I don't know if you can tell, but right there's a little wide, there's a little narrow. So, and this was way off too. One of them, I think, this one, 3 and 5, E, B, G, and A were really low. So I used the baking soda and super glue technique, and it worked really good. So I got that. The height, so my action is good. I actually love working on the guitar. It's really fun learning all of the things about it. Um, I find it fascinating how complicated they are, and I never knew anything before. I thought that was it. I thought the tuners were it. And I gotta say, tuning machines, oh my gosh. I think the phrase tuning machines came from a tuner manufacturer, marketing group who wanted to make their little worm gear devices sound more complicated and fascinating than they are. So they started calling them tuning machines. That is a little worm gear. That's all it is. It's a tuner, not a tuning machine. And while we're on the topic of strange um, names, this string guide is called a nut. How did this become a nut? I do not understand that one. But I absolutely love playing guitar. I love working on it. I am addicted. I am addicted to playing. And I do more like more practicing, like trying to learn the scales and things like that, than trying to play songs. Because I started playing and I got a little better, and then I bought an acoustic. I was using my daughter's guitar at first, a little play guitar. I started on this one. I started with this, and yeah, it's funny how your ear changes over time. It sounded fine to me when I started playing, and now it's like nails on a chalkboard. So, okay, back to it. Sorry for the um, wasting your time here. Okay, so I got everything in tune. Okay, so we're all in tune. And now we've got to do, for the intonation, you hold it down on the 12th and pluck it. There's my high E. Oh boy. There's my B. G. So that's where we start to go off. So now if we get down to, so as you can tell, I'm pretty much all over the place here. I had to remove some of the springs. I'm not sure. I'll put them back if I can't, because it didn't seem to work moving that saddle even further back. So I'm going to show you this and see if you guys can help me with this. So working on the E string. Okay, so now if I hold down the 12th, and so I am, let me do this, put it on E. Now I'm going to do this. So I am plus 123. So I'm plus 123, and the saddle is right there. Okay, so I'm going to change this. I'm going to move this back, and I'm going to show you how that doesn't change much. Okay, so one more time. 12th fret, plus 123. All right, hang on. Okay, so I move the saddle back about half of the available travel. I've got to tune it. Okay, there's E. Hold it down on the 12th. Plus 123. And I moved that thing probably 3/16 of an inch. So now I'm going to remove the spring and move it all the way back. So one more time. E is in tune. Okay, going to hold down the 12th. Plus 123. Okay, see what happens. Okay, we're back. So now, and I'm sure this probably isn't right to take off the spring. I'm just trying something. It didn't work to solve the problem. but I'm just showing that I can go to the full limits of the travel of this bridge, and it still doesn't get me the intonation I need. So this is now all the way back. I remove the spring. Let me get this thing in tune. Okay, so we're in tune now. And with this, the first shot with this thing, way up here. So I would guess it was, we moved it a full quarter of an inch. We moved it a quarter of an inch, which is what, 25.4 millimeters per inch, 5 millimeters. Move the thing 5 millimeters. So now, okay, once again, we're in tune. Hold it down on the 12th. And same thing. Plus 122. It didn't change at all. Moving the string length, adding 5 millimeters or a quarter of an inch to the string length didn't change anything for the intonation. And I am stumped. I need some help, people, please. So I'm not sure. I can't figure out if you're supposed to measure from the beginning of the nut or the end. If you measure from, I'll just go in the middle. How's that? This is 25 and a half. These guitars are supposed to be 25 and a half. So, these ones that tune at the 12th, they're at 25 and a half. But when these ones were at 25 and a half, I still got, this 122 for intonation. So one more time. One 120. So what are those called? Cents? Cents? C-E-N-T-S? So moving it a full quarter of an inch on an instrument where, like a truss rod adjustment, for example, you're talking an eighth of a turn. With the screw pitch as it is, an eighth of a turn is probably 15,000th of an inch, I would guess. So you're talking an instrument that's that high, what's the word? High tolerance. The tolerances are really super tight. It doesn't take much to get these things, to adjust these things. And I moved that a full quarter of an inch, and I'm, what did it change? It went from 122 to it didn't do anything. So please help. Thank you. I love my guitar. I'm addicted to it. And when I play down the neck, it sounds like shit. So please help. Thank you.